Alright guys, this is Reviewing Consumer, doing my review of the Fitbit Blaze. I've probably had this for 5 or 6 months now. Figured it was probably a good time to do a review on it. Got a lot of wear and tear out of it. For starters, you can look at your interface. There's multiple faces that you can have for this. There's a number of them that were released on the new update. From this face, obviously you can sort of from the side. If you tap the face, you can see your steps. You tap again, it'll give you your heart rate. Obviously, if I was wearing it, you would see the heart rate. Then it'll also tell you your calories burned for the day. So right now I'm at 2,668. So we can slide across, and it just gives you another way to see these features. You can set up active hours. Tells you your miles traveled. Again, you can read it all, floors, such. There's a few more. There's the exercise feature. If you want to lift weights, it gives you a timer for that. Same thing with biking. You can also set it up with GPS if you're biking or running. Treadmill, same thing, timer, and some other workouts that you can do. Next is just a regular timer. This works just like it says, it's like a stopwatch. You can do a countdown. If you want to do something for a minute, you can set it to count down from that time. Same thing with the stopwatch feature. It'll obviously count up. You can set alarms. I use this to wake up in the morning. I wear it to sleep at night. It also does sleep tracking, which is something you don't see on here. As far as settings, it shows you quick view. This is if you tilt your wrist towards you. Like if you were to look at a watch, that same motion, it'll actually power it on. Brightness, you can do that. I leave it on auto. Bluetooth Classic is this if you want to control music, you can go that route and sync it. Your heart rate, obvious what that is. But one of the things that's not as obvious about it is when you tap heart rate, you get on, and you also have auto. On will do a constant heart rate. Auto will do it every so often, which is a lot better for the battery. Not to run that constant, because when you cut your heart rate on, I'll go back over to it. When the heart rate is on, when you look at the back, there's actually two lights. And more or less, it does algorithms, and it also checks the blood vessels closest to the top of the skin. And then somehow, I don't know, it's really accurate though. I'll put it upside of a regular, heart rate monitor, one that straps around your chest, and it is pretty much spot on. Battery life for this, you can expect 3 to 5 days. I normally get 3 to 4 days. That's pretty much it. I haven't gotten 5 days out of mine yet. I'm a pretty heavy user. I got about 10,000 steps a day. I will have by the time I go to bed, but I normally average about 14 a day, so I get the full use out of it. You have to charge it a little more often than I would like to, but overall it's been a solid fitness tracker. It's pretty tough. I don't know if you can tell, but it's pretty dinged up. It's pretty beat up. It's got some scratches, and in my line of work, things get pretty beat up, so I need it to last. Another interesting fact about it is if you want to charge it, you can look on the back, and you can see these four brass pads. The way you charge it is you remove it from the actual
One of the
watch. Things is the way you charge this. I'm not sure I'm a fan of it. I kind of thought there maybe be a micro USB cable or something to that effect, but you actually remove the Blaze itself, and you charge it. It plugs in, the cover snaps over it, and it charges, and the charging icon will pop up and tell you where you are. It doesn't tell you the time before it's fully charged, but it does show you, in a battery fashion, the percentage that it's charged. It's not my favorite, but I guess that is the way it works. I would have preferred some other way where I didn't have to take it out of the watch, but it snaps back in fairly easy. It's not an issue. Another thing is the band. If you look at my band, if you flip here, I have a large, and this large is massive. It is, I mean, it's huge. I'm wearing it, to here, probably number 7, and I have a fairly good size wrist, so it's well suited. I mean, if you think you may need an extra large, you're worrying about the size of it. They run very large. I know a number of people, and nobody wears an extra large, so you'd probably be safe with the large. The bands are pretty pricey anyway. I think last time I checked, this was around $200 for the whole setup, and the bands, depending on which one you get, you can go $100 to $150. I haven't felt the need to purchase a band yet. I have received one replacement. It quit tracking floors at one point, which is probably something I didn't really touch on as much. It also does notifications. You can scroll up and see if maybe you had text messages or anything like that from your phone. You can set it up for whatever you want, as little as or as much as you want. But I've got 11 floors today. It does keep up with that. It did go out once, but it's very easy to get a replacement. I called them, told them what it was doing, and they sent me one in the mail. I actually have the other one as a backup, just in case this one were to go out. But overall, it's been a really good fitness tracker, and I'm happy with it. Thanks for watching. It's my first video. I know it's pretty rough. I'll be making more, but if you could like and also subscribe to it, it'll help me do a lot more reviews and have some more stuff to review. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Very easily paired with the Fitbit Blaze is the Fitbit app. You can see in the top right corner it is paired to my Fitbit Blaze. You can see it's at half battery life. It gives you some pretty interesting information. It gives you a lot of the same information. One thing you don't see on the Fitbit itself is the sleep tracking. It says how long I slept last night. It'll tell you the 1 of 5 days weekly exercise. Today is my first day of the week, so that's 1. You can keep up with your water intake, which is something you manually have to do. Be honest with you, this is good to keep up with, but I rarely ever do it. There's been some days that I've done it, but I don't know. It's just something I haven't done a ton of. There's a lot of good features in this. This app actually wasn't near as good. There was a recent update, and it helped a lot. It'll tell you what you did each day. You can see a lot of different things from each day, but the app is really kind of like a must-have for this. This also gives you your dashboard if you want to maybe change the face of your Blaze. If you click the top, sorry, and I'll just pull that out, but if you can go back to your Blaze, you can see already you got your call and text notifications, your clock display. If you want to go into that and look into it, you can change. These are some of the new ones. That one's called Pop. There's Zone. A lot of these will show you different information. I have the first one. I kind of went through all of them for a few days. This one right here is kind of difficult to tell the time on. It's kind of small, and it's not as beneficial. It looks pretty cool, but it's not really that beneficial. There's several of them that are pretty good. This one's not bad. A lot of people use that. It just kind of depends. They give you a few. There was only 3 or 4 before, and then they've added quite a few, which is nice. It gives you an option to do a few things. So if anybody's interested in how the music control works, I'll do a quick demonstration. Once you do the Bluetooth pair, Bluetooth Classic pair, excuse me, you can swipe down from the top of your Fitbit. You can hit play. You can control your playlist. You can change songs. You can skip. I use Google Play Music. It works great with that, but I haven't had it not work with anything. But anyway, it'll work pretty flawlessly. I guess maybe if you didn't want to carry your phone with you, if you wanted to leave it somewhere else and still control it with your watch, you wouldn't have to have anything in your hands. And it works pretty far away. I've probably gone 60 feet and still been able to control it. You may be able to go farther, but I just did it to test it. I really didn't use it much, but it's worked good every time. It's worked pretty well every time. So.